Let's talk about the art of picking war goals. Endless battles. Sadly, it is weak and somewhat of a trap. Prussia sides with Mecklenburg? That was unexpected. It worked. Russia granted us Warsaw. Hello fellow data friends. Welcome back to our not yet lost campaign in the year 1846 on Iron Man. A small recap. We researched and built a railway station and are now using that new infrastructure to increase our economy. We still have about 27,000 subsistence farmers, but since our construction is growing, they won't last very long. Especially since we are going to war very soon, because that is what you asked for, and we won't get South German migrants from Austria while fighting against them. Our liberty desire is at 100%, and we can declare a war for independence, which would be supported by Prussia and the Ottomans. While they would likely be enough to beat Austria, Russia and two Sicilies are very likely to join on Austria's side. On the other hand, Great Britain and France are undecided, but almost on our side, especially Great Britain. Both Great Britain and France are antagonistic against Russia. Thus, when Russia joins Austria, both France and Britain should get plus 25 preference for us, and we can very likely sway one of them. We can't have both, since Britain and France also hate each other. France is stronger in terms of military power, so we would prefer France. Also, Britain is more likely to have their armies spread around the globe. Let's evaluate the power of both sides briefly. We will use power projection to get an idea of our chances, but power projection only accounts for standing armies. So we will also count conscripts. It will not be perfect, but it is the best we have for now. On my side, or potentially on my side, Prussia has 3,900 power projection and 16 conscripts. The Ottomans have 2,100 power projection and 119 conscripts. Both are for sure on my side. Great Britain has 4,000 power projection and 58 conscripts. France, on the other hand, has 5,600 power projection and 101 conscripts. I can probably provide about 10 conscript units. If we get Great Britain, that would result in 10,000 power projection with 193 conscripts. If we get France, that would be 11,600 power projection with 246 conscripts. Our enemies. Austria has about 5,300 power projection and 116 conscripts. Russia has about 6,300 power projection with 315 conscripts. Two Sicilies has 1,100 power projection with 21 conscripts. In total, 12,700 power projection with 452 conscripts. So on paper, we would be at a disadvantage even with France on our side. But it might work. And it is probably the best chance we will get in a while, so let's start the independence play. When the war starts, we will be forced out of the Austrian market and need to survive on our own. We can and will trade with Prussia, but we will probably need more bureaucracy for trade routes. So I will queue in government building and put that behind the construction sector. And here is a Diplo play. We can already see that we would be able to sway one country, namely Great Britain. We have 80 maneuvers and I could add some more war goals, like conquer West and East Galicia. But I will not add any war goals right now. It will add infamy, and adding war goals with infamy will increase the preference score for the war goal target with all other nations. Thus, other powers are less likely to support us, and we are trying to get France, which will be a close call anyway. I want to make sure they join us first before I add more war goals and maybe scare them off. Also, depending on our alliance, we might want to use other war goals. Austria added war goals versus Prussia and the Ottomans, which will actually help us. Now, they have something to lose, and their war support will only go below 0 if they lose control of their war goal. And Austria added a conquer war goal with infamy. Britain now has -2 preference for us, and France -16. We are getting there. Escalation stage. We could now sway Britain, but let's wait for Russia to make a move. Right, Russia sides with Austria and they want an Ottoman territory. The antagonistic stance versus Austria is lowering the preference score for Austria, not raising our preference score. France won't join us yet. Can we do something about this? We already aligned our governments as far as we could. Or can we? We could change the leader of one of our interest groups and hope we get an even more aligned government. But since there are 4 parties in our government, that might not make a huge difference. Because preference for laws for ideological difference is calculated as an average over all interest groups in government. So we need to be really lucky to get like 3 or 4 points. No idea if that will be enough to get France into swaying range or if we just waste goodwill with our interest groups. Let's sway Britain. They want an obligation, which is totally fine for me. Britain sides with us and France is now lost. Let's talk about the art of picking war goals. Right now, we only have the independence war goal and we fulfill that war goal as long as we control Krakow. So we would start the war with all our war goals against Austria fulfilled. We don't have a war goal against Russia. Thus, Austria and Russia can drop below 0 war support as long as Prussia can hold the front line. Also, we control 100% of our war goals. This reduces Austrian and Russian war support by 1 every week. This would be a defensive war with a fast ticking clock to our benefit. To form Poland-Lithuania, we need West and East Galicia from Austria. Getting these states will be a total game changer for us, but it comes with bigger risks during the war. To get Austria below 0 war support, we need to charge at the enemy at some point to get these states. And I don't believe that my alliance can push forward as long as Russia is in the war. So we need to hold the line until Russia drops out of the war. That's why we won't add any war goals against Russia. It will keep them in the war until the conquered war goals against Russia are fulfilled. We don't want that. We want Russia to drop out of the war so we can beat up Austria afterwards. Adding more war goals means that we control less of our war goals from the start of the war. Thus, the war support will go down slower the more war goals we add. And Russia has a really strong anti-Brit lobby. These guys want to fight Britain. They have 69% clout, so they will add plus 0.69 war support for Russia every week. It will be a long meat grinder to get Russia out of this war, and they have a lot of time to assault our defenses. These are the risks attached with adding more war goals. Nevertheless, getting West and East Galicia would be extremely good for us. So we'll risk it because the reward is just too good. Oh, an anti-Prussian lobby formed, but I don't know why. Oh, maybe because our relations dropped due to the infamy? That would make sense. And we will add war reparations. Adding a 4th war goal will not change much anymore, and it will be really powerful for building up our economy. Let's hope Prussia can hold the line, and we will do our very best to help. Let's remove the liquor tax and add enlistment efforts. We create a new army and call them freedom fighters. Then we need actual soldiers. We got the technology for skirmish infantry, which is really nice. There's one big problem though, and it's not money and supplies. But there isn't a war goal targeting us. So we can just drop to minus 100 war support and lose the war because we send soldiers into battle. But as long as our commander isn't leading the battle, we will be fine, you will see. Let's add skirmish infantry. We will import everything we need from Prussia, and we don't care about tanking our bureaucracy, but we need ammunition right away to minimize supply issues. Then we upgrade our conscription centers, and mobilize and raise conscripts. We need a commander. A surveyor gets a bonus to fighting on home ground, which is nice. The landowner gets plus 5% attack and can pillage. Pillage is actually a really nice command. You conquer less territory, but you do more morale damage and you kill a lot more. But we don't want our commander to fight anyway. But the intelligentsia and the armed forces general get more command limit, which makes the general more likely to be chosen for battle. We want as little chance for our general to fight as possible. The landowner general it is. We researched water tube boiler. First, let's upgrade our mines. What do we want next? Researching military stuff is not worth it, and it won't be in time to help with our current war. Getting a level 3 tech is also not worth it, since we get higher research costs for every missing level 2 tech. And a lot of level 3 production technology is about saving labor, which we only need if we lose our war. Let's not plan for that scenario right now. We could research improvements for our food industries or get a society tech. Pharmaceuticals would give us access to private health insurance to grow our population faster, or just plain minting and less interest rates. The minting bonus would be about £170 per week. I think I will research the food industry stuff because we get plus 20% production research speed from the industrialists, but only 10% society research speed from the intelligentsia. These bonuses, I think, do not apply for tech spread, so we want to improve the odds for tech spread researching stuff without bonus. Oh, I forgot, I want better supplies. We need to hold the line. And liquor. Two Sicilies really want to help Austria, but they haven't joined Austria's side yet. Maybe there isn't a war goal two Sicilies actually want? Anyway, I hope it stays this way, better for us. A campaign of banquets for guaranteed liberties. I will take the higher success chance, thank you. Tech spread unlocked power of the purse. Naval tech as a landlocked nation is appreciated. Infertile grounds. We can interact with our agitator. I don't want universal suffrage anyway, so I retire him. Austria added a humiliation war goal against Britain, which is really helping us. This means Britain cannot drop out of the war easily and they have something to lose in this war, which means they will send more units than without the war goal. Right now we have 81 units versus 274, not looking good so far. Some British and Ottoman units are coming though. We reached the escalation stage. Two Sicilies did indeed not join. Time to deploy our 3 units to the actual front. And yes, I want the attack command on my general. More about that later, when our soldiers get chosen for battle. We still have a massive disadvantage, but the Ottoman-Austrian front and the Ottoman-Russian front look fine. But the Prussian front is the most important. Our allied AI is not liking me, I guess. The actual war started and we got some supply shortages. We will import everything from Prussia. They don't have dyes, that's fine. And we sell our stuff back to Prussia. This tanked our bureaucracy quite a bit and we lose 26% taxes. We are building a government administration building right now and we got some gold reserves, all fine. Some trade routes make a lot of losses because our consumption is too low to support a level 1 trade route. Still, this will help us to avoid a total economic crash. And as you can see, our war support is not kept at 0 because there's no war goal targeting us. That means we can lose the war by going to minus 100 war support even though we control our whole country in an independence war, which is a bit weird. We get extra war support due to our anti-Austria lobby, but we really don't want to lose any war support if we can avoid it. Fighting at the front ourselves is a dangerous game, but it might mean the difference between winning and losing. We got the first Austrian attack and I can explain combat with a bit. Or not, the tooltip is not showing. A minor bug? Anyway, it should work for the next battle. Looks like we are winning this one. Joint stock companies unlocked. More companies is always good. 2 more battles. Now we can talk about combat with. Basically, the game does the following steps. Take all units at the front. Do a random roll to remove some battalions, which depends on the number of battalions and the length of the front. Then use terrain and infrastructure of the battlefield to get a limit of soldiers who can actually fight. This is combat with. Then comes a random roll for numerical advantage. The more units you have at the front compared to your enemy, the better chances you have in this random roll. This adds again more units to the battlefield. In this case, 8 units. Prussia has less troops, but better defense. Let's hope they win. Also, it seems that Russia and Austria are not starting another attack, which is quite lucky for us, because we might not be able to fully staff a 4th battle with good defensive troops, or even fill a 5th battle at full combat with at all. But hey, lucky us. And our units are actually fighting. 3 in Strasbourg and 1 in Posen. We only have 4 units, so we can defend for now. The AI noticed that our front is under-defended and is sending more units, but many need quite some time. But the army of the West Indies is close. A mining accident. Our war support is lowered when we have a lot of radicals, so let's anger the upper strata. The rural folk wants to leave the anti-Austria lobby. No, we need anti-Austrian propaganda right now. The army of the West Indies arrived at the front, very nice. And look, the AI keeps some defenders in case of naval invasions against the capital. Man, now it's looking like we are losing all 3 battles. Ah no, the battle for Silesia turned again. Austria is retreating. Well, at least one battle. Austria and Russia are attacking again, so we switched to attack for now. Another battle. I need to stay defensive for now. I don't want to actually attack. But why am I doing this? An attacking commander is very unlikely to be chosen for a defensive battle. And as you can see, our manpower is down to below 2000 due to losing soldiers on the battlefield. But the war screen only shows 112 dead soldiers due to attrition, because the Prussians are leading this battle. All dead soldiers are attributed to them, not to us. So, as long as I never lead a battle, I can throw as many lives on the front line as I want. More allied troops are arriving soon. Oh, the British are attacking. Probably a good choice to make the best use of artillery and lancers. And a second attack. And they are winning, it seems. Look at that, we have an even front rating, what a relief. The Austrian-Ottoman front looks fine. The Ottoman-Russian front looks a bit bad, but there are 2 conquer war goals against the Ottoman. As long as they hold one front, all is fine. 5 battles at our front. 7 battles. The great powers are really going at it. Guaranteed liberties progress to voting. Endless battles. But look at that. Our alliance is pushing into West Galicia. I really thought we had to peace out Russia first. War support is fine. Prussia can't go below 0 anyway. But our war support is barely not decreasing. I think it's time to retreat our forces from the front to get less attrition. Although we still have some subsistence farmers left to burn. Still, retreat for now. I don't want to lose against the clock. For whom the bell tolls. The leader of the Conservative Party died and we can add momentum to them. But I won't. Look at these battle sizes. And we got West Galicia. Really unexpected to get it so soon. And the other fronts look fine as well. And another round of battles. Currently 350,000 soldiers died and about 500,000 are wounded. But we are winning. Oh, our general is dead. I didn't even notice. Do we even need one anymore? Well, the front looks even now. By the way, look, we have 253 units, but only 61,000 soldiers. The other side has 316 units, but only 69,000 soldiers. So adding another 4,000 soldiers would really make a difference. I still don't want a bigger command limit that makes it more likely that we will lead an attack or defense. So the landowner it is. Let's rejoin the front as defender. And we got guaranteed liberties. Especially these plus 5% loyalists will come in handy once we can recover our standard of living. I think I'm happy with our laws for now. So let's get the best government we can get. And we get another election. 66% votes for the Free Trade Party. By the way, look at these aristocrats in the manor houses. Some of them are doing really fine, because these rye farms are rolling in money. Looks like the AI expanded this building recently. Smart choice. Another Austrian attack and our freedom fighters are in the thick of things. We got better defense, but they have a lot more men. Most of our units are not filled to capacity. Some fresh blood is arriving from Colombia. Can you see these flags partially filling the Russian borders? Our alliance is pushing into Russian territory. We got 62% from Mazovia. God's will, a voting event. Well, momentum for the Liberal Party is fine. Austrian war support is near 0, but we don't have East Galicia yet. But Russian war support is in freefall. It shouldn't be much longer now. A massive battle, 116 units versus 101 units, or about 20,000 men each. Okay, surprising panicked retreat from Russia. I take it. Russian war support is going down. Oh, we conquered Warsaw. Nice. We got nitroglycerin due to tax spread. And the battle for East Galicia has begun. Election results. Mostly the Free Trade Party. Our government can stay as it is. Really nice. Russia dropped out of the war. This means it is hunting season on Austria. The Ottomans conquered Croatia. Well done. And East Galicia is ours. Bye bye Austrian war support. Okay, they still haven't reached -100 war support, but they will accept our peace deal. Fine for me. Okay, we won. We actually won. I feel like we have been lucky. I expected a longer, more drawn out war, or getting overrun by a human wave. Well, Krakow is free now. The anti-Austrian Overlord League is no more, since we are no longer a subject, but they just made a normal anti-Austrian league. Let's take stock. We got 2 full provinces, and we have about 5.5 million people, and about 2.5 million are very angry. West Galicia has 38% turmoil and about 25% devastation. East Galicia has 52% turmoil, but only 6% devastation. East Galicia is not incorporated. It would lead to a deficit, but one more administration is almost done, and they would get taxes and guaranteed liberties. Totally worth it. We lose 15% taxes, but we still make a lot of money. We get £12,000 from Austria. We pay a lot of government wages, by the way. We could save £2,000 easily. Do I want to? The intelligentsia get a lot of support from aristocrats, bureaucrats and from academics. All aristocrats got 730,000 political power. Bureaucrats got only 150,000. 26% of aristocrats support the intelligentsia. The current rate for the intelligentsia is only 7%. This is probably still the support behavior under Austrian laws. So, a lot of aristocrats will shift very soon. This will weaken the intelligentsia quite a bit. This means I don't care much about the intelligentsia for now. We reduce government wages to normal. We could also raise taxes, but I would not go higher than normal. We would lose a legitimate government and their bonuses. Especially plus 25% loyalists from increased standard of living. After the war, our standard of living should increase again. I want that plus 25%. No tax changes. Our government buildings in East Galicia use filing cabinets, but they don't have enough paper. Let's import some for now, and let's wait for the effect. We can't import any dye, but we can import fertilizer. Can we improve relations with Austria? We have no more reasons to hate them, for now. Not enough influence. We can declare a rivalry against Saxony. Who cares about Saxony? Now we can improve relations with Austria. We want them to like us, so they won't attack us. They are domineering. And we declare a rivalry against Bavaria, because I want to improve relations with Russia. Anyway, can we get into the Zollverein? They have 190 leverage right now, but it is shrinking. The Russian influence is growing, but both not enough. Because we increase relations with the great powers. We could try to change some laws to weaken our own leverage resistance, but that will take time. And we can't get any agreements, it seems. Prussia is cautious. Maybe that will change after recalculation, after a week or two? Anyway, our own market needs tools, clothes and paper. Our private construction is building tools? Nice. Our construction is really slow due to turmoil and devastation. Minus 40% in West Galicia and minus 55% in East Galicia. It will improve when devastation goes down. We need to power through, I guess. We could establish a grain or livestock company, but I don't want to. I don't want more of those right now. We will keep the company in reserve. We are currently building government administration and furnitures, which is fine. Alright, we don't need the enlistment efforts any longer. I will add the green grass campaign. It's rather useless right now, but once turmoil and devastation settles, it will be great, and I might forget about it otherwise. Right, time to let time pass. Oh, we lost the bureaucracy bonus from the petite bourgeoisie. That's a shame. Raising concerns. The church already hates us. Who cares? What happens to our leverage if we stop improving relations with Russia and Austria? It would still go down, but not quite as much. I prefer good relations. We make £6,000 per week. That is enough to fund one iron frame construction center, even without any private construction. Laissez-faire allocates 75% construction to the private construction queue. So we will build 4 new construction centers. And one construction center will take 25 weeks apparently. And we change our government administration in West Galicia to filing cabinets. The trade routes will, hopefully, import more paper to compensate that, which fixed bureaucracy but created a shortage. Both trade routes will not upgrade. But we can import some more paper from Austria, which is just enough to avoid a shortage, but it is expensive. I was hoping for enough bureaucracy to upgrade home affairs. Austria embargoed us. Well, simple organization it is. Oh, and we can stop increasing relations with Prussia. We are over 50. But can we decrease it to 49 and increase it again to hopefully roll a better attitude? Let's do that. And I will put our textile mills to hand-sewn cloth. They have a 50% shortage debuff. Hey look, the East Galician manor house we conquered from Austria owns a fishing wharf in Italy. Funny. Our government is unacceptable? Why? The industrialists want to join the People's Party. They got 66% votes. That will destroy their votes again. Well, let's take the best government there is. Landowner cloud crashed hard, probably because grain is not super expensive anymore. Prussia is at 49 relations. Now we improve relations again. We finally finished a construction center, and devastation is almost 0. Okay, Prussia's at 50 relations. Nothing. Even if we would have enough leverage, they don't want us to join. Fine. Maybe we can use the Russians as a hammer versus Prussia in the future. So let's reduce our relations with Prussia to 20, so we can attack them if we want to, after the truce expired. Some buildings were sold, we got a lot of cash. Let's look at our trade routes. We still have some war trade routes active. We don't need most of them. But let's keep engines, to make sure demand is going strong, since we only need 5 engines ourselves. And we don't need so much paper without filing cabinets. Okay, this trade window looks better. A big homesteading movement. We could get a lot of loyalists. Oh, the landowners are at 5.5%. And almost everybody loves it. I will do it. Can you even get an agitator to boost the movement further? Yes, we can, with 85 popularity. Sounds like a walk in the park. Support updated. Let's change the government. And enact homesteading. Look at that, 94% success chance. Enacting homesteading gave us the middle manager buff from the petite bourgeoisie again. Nice. That means if we change to filing cabinets in Galicia now and reduce the smaller government administration in East Galicia, we don't have a supplies shortage and we can upgrade institutions. Oh, and homesteading advanced to study. We got Home Affairs level 2 for more loyalists, better law enforcement for less thermal impact, and of course, less radicals for both. Inefficient agriculture. I don't want more radicals. We finished our construction centers. One more. And some iron mines afterwards. Homesteading advanced to voting. A preserved Tenem farmers movement. Well, the law will pass with 100%. Who cares? And we got homesteading. And fractal distillation. We got a steel shortage. Why? Just hire more people. Oh, it would reduce productivity. Capitalists, I tell you. Anyway, a lot of iron mines are being built. That should solve that issue. And look at our radicals due to the homesteading movement. And now they want universal suffrage. How about no? We can improve relations with Saxony and Bavaria for now. Maybe we want investment agreements one day. The private construction queue built food industries. At first, we want to use sweeteners and pot stills. Patent stills would be possible, but we don't have any glass yet. A mining accident. Again, the upper strata can take it. I want less radicals in total. A foreign manifesto. I want less political support for movements. I don't want universal suffrage. We are draining our investment pool, and we have laissez-faire, so all buildings go immediately up for sale. But Austria is not our overlord anymore, so no one can steal our buildings. Our government is contested anyway, so let's raise taxes to normal. We got hydraulic cranes due to tax bread. 1 iron mine finished, but we want 2 more iron mines. And 2 logging camps. And we add a liquor tax. We need more money to fuel construction. Austria won't pay forever. If we build another tooling workshop, we can get Krakowian metal. Tools are always nice, and they even increase some other stuff. Let's build a tooling workshop and put it first in the construction queue. Law enforcement increased to level 3 and home affairs increased to level 2. Nationalism unlocked. This gives us access to the Christ of Nations journal entry. We can use that button to pay £500 and foster some Polish radicals abroad. Sadly, it is weak and somewhat of a trap. It gives 5% radicals for the Polish culture in one country, say Russia. To get a secession, you need 50% radicals within the culture, which is a lot. But you only need 30% to spawn a mass migration. Russia has no migration controls. So if we would increase Polish radicals in Russia, and let's say Russia can't stop it, then the Polish people would just leave with a mass migration. No secession. Prussia has migration controls and national supremacy, so Polish people are discriminated against and they cannot leave. So it might work for Prussia, but I personally don't think it is worth it. We emptied our investment pool, but it is getting 9,000 a week, which is nice. And I will move the furniture factory up in the queue. That is more important now. And the furniture factory should use advanced methods. Right, we don't have sulfur, so we can't build a fertilizer plant. Still, I queue more tools, papers and more furniture. Organized crime. Nah, I will pay £500. Oh, we got an influence deficit. Russia's at 50 relations anyway. We got 3 levels of tooling workshops, so Kokorian metal it is. And we need more clothes. Our rich people want porcelain, so I will also add a glass factory. I should give them some time to actually build stuff. A duel between the rural folk and the intelligentsia. A democrat versus a land reformer. Let's ban duels. We don't care about the armed forces right now. Tax spread gave us canaries. Yes, this makes more money. Let's do it. We need dyes for ceramic. Austria has some dyes, but they're still embargoing us. Still, we can use glass for liquor. Oh, an election. And the Free Trade Party appeared again. They probably want to win the election and then disappear again. Yep, they got 82% votes. And 113 momentum. More than 100 is possible? Never knew. A voting event. I think I will make 5% of my 0 officers more radical. Another voting event. The Liberal Party screwed up. The debuff for popularity is only for 5 years. Momentum is not limited, I think. Partisan paper. Momentum for the Conservative Party or paper mill throughput. Easy choice, more paper. Okay, Prussia's at 19 relations. We will keep it here. Our market by itself starts to get balanced, but we are surrounded by great powers to export stuff to. Let's have a look. Russia is missing a lot of clothes, furniture and tools. Prussia looks more balanced, but maybe also some clothes. Clothes are somewhat expensive in our market as well, tools are a bit cheap, and furniture is exactly priced normal. We can export some tools to Russia. And some furniture. And a little bit of iron. The tools trade route to Russia is predicted to grow very nice. We have some tools and iron queued, so maybe we can export more soon. The election finished, and the Free Trade Party crushed it again. Hopefully, they stay a party this time. I take the government with 95 legitimacy. More loyalists is always nice, especially since they don't want to change laws for now. Glass works finished, so we need more demand for glass, and the answer is more liquor. We produce more paper than we use, which means filing cabinets in East Galicia. By the way, we can see the not collected taxes due to whatever reason. In this case, our tax capacity is not high enough. Again a mining accident. We take the usual option. As you can see, I make a small surplus each week. Under normal circumstances, this would mean another construction center. But we get £15,000 from Austria and they will only pay us for another 10 months. So I will not expand construction. Austria and Russia are fighting on that tiny front. There is a revolt in the Baltic Governorates. Looks like Austria is going to win that war. The rebels swayed Austria by becoming their subject. They are an Austrian protectorate. Looks like Austria is going to snatch Russia's subject. Our construction queue is almost completely done. We can build more wood and cloth for now. And we need more fabric, I guess. Let's upgrade our livestock ranch to get more fabric and a bit more fertilizer. Then more wood. The demand can support 2 logging camps. Okay, the textile mill does not need an upgrade, just cheaper fabric. More tools made our steel expensive. Do we need an upgrade? No, not for now. They can just hire more workers. Russia wants a trade agreement, fine by me. Looks like Russia is going to win the war in the end, because they occupied the rebels. And we import some sugar from Russia. We need it and got a trade agreement after all. Baking powder unlocked. That would need more grain and sugar, both is not cheap and would reduce earnings. We don't change it for now. What technology do we want next? We could research better textile mills, but we need dyes. Bone China also needs dyes. Some dye source would be nice. I think we might get some society tax for now. Central banking gives plus 10% minting, and we improved our economy quite a bit. That would be another £500 per week. We will do that and central archives afterwards for more tax capacity and maybe more bureaucracy if we need it. An event on the policy of the government, support for the movement or more radicalism. I don't want universal suffrage, no more support. Russia is not winning the war despite minus 100 war support? Oh, because Austria is the overlord. They need to peace out Austria. Anyway, our truce with Russia ended and we need to talk about diplomacy. To form Poland-Lithuania, we need 2 states from Prussia, probably also Silesia to get a connection, at least for now. So it would be nice if we could use Russia as a hammer against Prussia. Austria hates us, they will not help us. Russia is still at war, but let's test the water. If we wanted to conquer Silesia, okay, Sweden and some smaller nations will help Prussia. Russia is more inclined to help Prussia. We might increase our preference score a bit through changing the government, but that won't do. We still have a truce with Austria, but we can check their preferences regardless. They get a lot of neutrality due to the ongoing war and our truce, but they hate Prussia even more than they hate us. Interesting. We can keep that in mind. Let's talk about our long-term strategy. We need a lot of states from Russia and they want to eat them from within. Patch 1.7.5 made that harder, but I still want to test if it works. To do that, we need to be a Russian subject and strike a careful balance with our liberty desire, but I still want to test this. If it works, it would be beautiful. The perfect way to become Russia's subject would be to use our independence as a swaying tool in another war so we get something in return. Another way would be to, hopefully, join Russia's power bloc and be subjugated by them through the power bloc interaction. We can't use Russia against Prussia and they don't want to be Austria's subject again, but we might be able to use Russia against the Ottomans. We got a conquer state war goal against the Ottomans, and while I probably don't want that state, it will likely be cut off from us. But we would be in the Russian market and it should have a connection to Russia, so it would not be cut off, right? And this would give us a coastal state with a port. This sounds better by the minute. Russia has a lot of neutrality, so we need to wait until the end of the Russian-Austrian war. And we need to build more. We are building 2 logging camps. Our demand can support a 3rd one. Our private construction is already building a coal mine. More steel? While we need more steel in the long run, this would overbuild steel for now. Nah, let's do it. They don't need to staff it to the maximum. Police brutality. I don't want more radicals. We can just upgrade the police again. The Austrian-Russian war ended. Russia has minus 21 support for us. They have a landowner government. What happened when we add the Conservative Party? Better? Minus 13 sounds swayable if we offer our independence. Let's try, but we wait a bit. This war goal gives 8.6 infamy and we have 16.8. That would increase our infamy above 25, which I don't want to happen. The Austrian war reparations ended, but hopefully we get Ottoman reparations soon. That is enough infamy decay. Minus 12 preference for Russia. Let's hope it works. The worst that can happen are probably war reparations from us. Let's try it. And there is a swayable nation. Not Russia. Wait, Austria? But they hate us. Seems like we made a mistake. Let's wait a bit. But we prepare to join the Russian power bloc. We stop improving relations with Austria and improve relations with Russia, which would result in 227 leverage for Russia. That is enough. Our backup plan is in preparation. And we need a bit more fabric. Okay Russia, what are you doing? They don't get any bonus from becoming our overlord. They don't want us as a subject. They don't care. And Austria? They want East Galicia. That is not going to happen. I don't have any ideas how to salvage this situation. Let's back down before some worse war goals are added. The Ottomans win this time. We are paying 2,000 pounds. That hurts, but we will survive. It would have been so good if it had worked. And I will build more farms. Grain is expensive and this will move more people off subsistence farms and thus improve demand. Also, I will change urban centers to market squares. They make enough money to survive this and this will give more demand, especially for glass. And once the glass price normalizes, it will not be so bad. What else can we do? We don't have silk or dyes. No upgrade for our textile mills. What about furnitures? 55 nice chairs would totally overshoot the demand. These guys are buying nice chairs and they need it for luxury items. There's a lot of demand for nice clothes. So if nice chairs get cheaper, people should switch some demand to them. Let's do it. Okay, we produce some nice chairs and we need some hardwood. I will use a smaller logging camp in East Galicia. Okay, pop needs increased, but how far will it go? Seems like our factory reduced workers to compensate for the new losses, but they make money again. Raising concerns event. I don't like the landowners. We can also export some nice shares to Russia. That should help. And let's remove some bad trade routes while we're at it. We are bleeding a lot of money and we probably need to scale back construction soon. At least there will be some cash inflow from the investment pool. We are selling a lot of tools to Russia. Maybe we can produce even more tools. Can we speed up Russian leverage? I don't think so. Well, let's use a proper government then. The furniture store healed, but hardwood is expensive. They would make slightly less money, but fine. We got percussion caps through tax spread. Leverage is growing so slowly. We got pharmaceuticals. Time for private health insurance. City of Plenty event. More loyalists or a lot more loyalists with a catch. Okay, 40% of our upper strata have a standard of living below expected. I don't think I want to raise their expectation for 9 years to come. Got event though. Our infamy just reached 14.9 and the Russian leverage will probably need another year until it's enough. Unless we expel some diplomats, Prussian diplomats. That should reduce their leverage and speed up Russian leverage. Minus 40 from expelled diplomats. It helps, but it's not much. Worth a try. Our funds cannot keep up with construction. While this lowers demand, I still think we have to remove one construction center. That should help. Healthcare progress to study. And law enforcement is level 3 again. Okay, less construction is hurting our iron industry. Let's try to export some. Hopefully Austria will not embargo us again. They take 50 iron. And they get some coal as well. We need to build more. And we still need more grain. Only 24 grain per level? Health insurance progress to voting. We got private health insurance. That should help with population growth and it gives standard of living for the upper strata. Hopefully they will consume more. Russia is in a battle. They are interfering in an Ottoman civil war, but they wouldn't help me before. Finally, we can join the Russian power bloc. And we are in. If nothing else, the defensive cooperation level 3 might help us against an Austrian attack. Okay, they can subjugate us now, but there are some conditions. We need to be 5 years in the power bloc and don't be a major power. The last one is fine. I just noticed, being in the same power bloc makes the AI more likely to support you. So if we joined before attacking the Ottomans, we would have been just fine. Well, I learned something new. Let's put an interest into North Germany. Maybe I can engineer conflict there to become Russia's subject faster. Let's wait until the Russians finished up with the Ottomans. Inefficient agriculture. I don't want more radicals. Crystal glass was unlocked. Coal is done again. Let's sell some to Prussia. And clothes to Russia. I was wondering why our new farms wouldn't make a difference in the grain supply. We need more fertilizer. We can import some from Austria. And we build more livestock, which also uses more grain. Livestock and grain have a brutal feedback loop. The Ottomans got replaced by the Turkish aristocrat revolt, which means we don't have a truce anymore. But Russia likes them. No way they would support a war. But if we demand investment rights from Mecklenburg, they get -1 preference. So after moving the Conservative Party into government, yes +2. Now it should work. Yes, we can sway Russia. Finally, let's do this. Prussia sides with Mecklenburg? That was unexpected. Mecklenburg sold their independence as well. Wait, this means we can conquer land from Prussia. Great Britain and France don't care. Austria is not far off from supporting Mecklenburg. I will wait until later and hope many nations declare their neutrality. Austria declared neutrality. Okay, do we need to help Russia? 8,000 power projection versus 5,000. Russia should be fine. Brazil is close to helping? I will wait a bit longer for more neutral parties. Okay, some nations remained, and some have preference for Mecklenburg. I will add war goals and increments, and then we see. I want Silesia to have a proper connection. Okay, everyone except Bavaria looks fine. I want Posen. Bavaria might join, but Russia should have this. No, I can't add West Prussia. The last missing state. Shame. Let's add Prussian war reparations. 61 infamy, still fine. Okay, but I think we should help Russia. Russia has a lot of small arms, but not much ammunition. So we remove the skirmish infantry and add line infantry. Let's remove the greener grass edict from East Galicia and add enlistment efforts. Now we are talking. Wait, that is probably a bit much. We will just use East Galicians. That should be a giant conscription center, which should fill fast. And we want general training. And we may need another general, a cruel offensive planner who can pillage. This means a lot of kill rate. We defend for now and mobilize. Maybe a bit late, but better than nothing. A devout scandal. He's a royalist. Ignore it. Falling in line. The petit bourgeoisie wants to join the anti-Prussia society. Considering we are going to war, that is fair and just. Let's talk about our plans with Russia. They will grant us the Polish states under some conditions. Firstly, the states they grant cannot be incorporated. The Polish states are not. Secondly, they need a protective attitude. Fine. Thirdly, we need to be a dominion. So Russia needs to lower our status. We need less liberty desire. Once we achieve that, we want more liberty desire but stay within the conditions. So we asked for support for our regime, which was accepted. Also, we just joined the Russian market. We can feed the economy now, which means a lot of tools. Let's cancel that livestock and queue 5 tool factories. And we have access to silk and dyes. Let's upgrade our textile mills and get some ceramics. And we can cancel some trade routes. We don't need them anymore and save some bureaucracy. Let's move our units to the front line. Russia wants to attack, and we got a war goal against us. I will set my general to attack as well with the pillage command. Then I will retire the landowner and promote our cruel general. That should increase our chances to lead the assault a lot. Time for war. 2 battles started immediately. Looks like Prussia will win the first one. The second, not so much. Oh, a third battle with 3 units versus 2 units. Cute. Another big battle. Yeah, Russia is using their superior manpower to beat Prussia. Look, Prussia has 131 units, but only 32,000 soldiers. Harvesting season. Coalition coupons. More momentum for the Free Trade Party. Another election? 4 years already passed? Russian flags are appearing in Prussia. Beautiful. A scandal in West Galicia. Oh, our ruler messed up. He was well liked, and the legitimacy hit would only be for 11 months. Cover it up. Ah, it worked just fine. No popularity hit. Our great nation. Protected speech gives more tech spread. I want more tech. We conquered Silesia. And West Prussia. And East Prussia. That was fast. Posen is still missing. Prussia cannot go below 0 because of the investment rights? Oh, because they are the overlord, right. Well, Russia reached Mecklenburg already. Kindly burn this letter. Down with the Conservative Party. The election finished and the Free Trade Party won a landslide victory. No need to change the government. And we won the war. We got Silesia and Posen. Silesia has beautiful mines, by the way. Okay, we need 500 bureaucracy to incorporate both. And we get reparations, so we can up our construction game again. We need more infrastructure in West Galicia soon. So we build 4 construction centers, 1 railway and 5 government administrations. 1 tooling workshop is almost done, this one can stay at the top. Right, we have 4 states, so we don't get a debuff for mass migrations anymore. I want more greener grass edicts. We don't need enlistment efforts. And I will remove the throughput bonus. We add greener grass in East Galicia and Silesia. Ah, our new states are not incorporated yet. That's why only 2 states count. Spain formed a power bloc, the Holy Alliance. Saxony became our rival. We can stop improving their relations. And be nice to Austria again. And we got central banking. Nice, more minting. And central archives. So we upgrade our government administration in West and East Galicia. And can incorporate Silesia. By the way, we get some migration from the Russian market into West Galicia. We also get some in East Galicia, but some people are also leaving for West Galicia. Still, in total, that is a win. A new tech. Let's go for postal savings. More money in the investment pool is always nice. While we run a deficit, the investment pool seems to wait for railways to finish. Or they need to build more factories which they can buy. Nah, they bought something at least. We got the filing cabinet's journal entry. I love tech boosts. Cross-border investments. Better relations with Russia is what we need right now. I think we can stop improving relations for now. Faster infamy decay is fine. Mecklenburg is damaging relations. Who cares? Okay, Russia increased the vassalization principle. Not a fan. Because once we are demoted to Dominion, we have to pay them. We got spare construction. More railways for more infrastructure. One more government administration. And Russia needs more tools, more clothes and furniture. So we add 2 of all of them. Oh, a diploplay? A Finnish revolt. I don't care about that. We have enough bureaucracy. Incorporate person. The Contagious Diseases Act. I don't want to lower standard of living for the lower strata. That will produce a lot of radicals. Why am I paying military wages? Oh, we conquered a standing army from Prussia. This is a waste of money for now. Russia will defend us. Government wages are expensive. I don't need another government administration for now. And we will reduce government wages. Russia can decrease our autonomy now, but they won't do so until we got less than 10 liberty desire, because they are not domineering. We need more patience. A cholera event. No choice here, I guess. Mechanized workshops. Time for sewing machines and more profits. And paper is expensive. I will build 2 sulfur mines and switch paper construction method once they are done. The West Galicia Political Union. Nah, no universal suffrage. I'm quite happy with the industrialists in charge. The Confederate States of America created a power bloc. Most of North America is in the British power bloc. North America is a mess that hurts to look at. We need more iron. A 5th is fine. And I will add 1 government administration in Silesia. Their tax collection is low and maybe we can get more institutions. Raising concerns. We got 14 loyalty points from the industrialists. Getting some for the rural folk is fine. Modern sewage due to tax spread. Very nice. More infrastructure is always useful. The sulfur mines are almost done, so let's create some demand in the paper factories. Okay, more clothes and furniture. And some tools. You always need tools. And another election cycle. Speeding through construction years sure is fast. False democracy. I don't want to lose legitimacy. Whistle stop tour. Momentum and throughput? Seems like the better option. Oh, there are shortages on all military goods? Is Russia at war again? Not yet, but they are in a diploplay against Great Britain and Russia wants Circassia and the Ionian Islands if Great Britain does not back down. Great Britain is worried and the Wargulls have low infamy. They might just back down. Election results are in. The Free Trade Party is as powerful as always. Russia made all demands against Britain into primary demands. That means war. Well, with the Ionian Islands in the mix, that war might take a while. Inefficient agriculture. Our industrialists are at +9, so I don't want to lower them further. And more migration attraction could be nice. We are at 12 liberty desire. We need more patience. But as you can see, without the support regime change, we would not go lower. So once we are a Dominion and lose that modifier, we should be fine. But being low on liberty desire also gives some nice buffs. Postal savings. More money for our investment pool. Always appreciated. And an Alemannic mass migration. Very nice. Which tech do we want now? We can research some level 3 production techs. I'm thinking about improved fertilizer. More grain for more fertilizer. Yeah, let's do it. Grain is always in demand. And fertilizer as well. But we got sulfur now, so we can build a fertilizer plant. 1 for now, and then we see how it goes. There is a dye shortage. Not good. Can we import some... Oh, from Qing? Yes, please, but why can't I trade with them? Because they're a neighbor of Russia, the market owner? That would make sense. We got field works due to tax spread. Oh, Britain naval invaded Finland. But Circassia is going to fall soon. We got some free construction. We are already building some tools. We can build more paper. That would need more sulfur as well. We will build some paper factories in Silesia so they get cheap sulfur. 4 should suffice for now. Okay, we got 9 liberty desire. Now, they should be willing to decrease our autonomy soon. And they decreased our autonomy, nice. Our liberty desire skyrocketed. And sadly, we have to pay Russia now. But now, since we are a dominion, we want as much liberty desire as possible without Russia losing their protective attitude. So let's ask for our own market. They might even accept if we owe them an obligation. No, I want them to decline. And they did. Very nice. Okay, our relations got reduced and our liberty desire is at 69. Ah, it worked. Russia granted us Warsaw. We need more bureaucracy to incorporate them. Since we are already building paper factories in Silesia, and Silesia needs more tax capacity, that is the perfect state for more government administrations. They will not grant states during war, so yes, the war with Britain ended. We can also demand a state from Russia, but as you can see, minus 284 acceptance score. They will not do so if I ask. Maybe if we have more liberty desire, but I doubt it. We need Russia to grant us a state to reduce our liberty desire. But, and I didn't notice that before, or it was in the 1.7.5 patch, the AI will not give away states which are adjacent to the incorporated states. That is why we got Warsaw, but they will not give us Lublin or Mazovia, because Grodno is incorporated. But Kaunas is unincorporated, and next to Vilnius, which is also unincorporated. So if we get West and East Prussia, then we have a connection to Kaunas. Then Russia should grant us this state as well. But that isn't a task for another video. I will add the next part to the end screen once it's done. Until then, thanks a lot for watching, please consider liking and subscribing.